All right. Well, good afternoon, everybody. Hopefully you can hear me okay. Welcome to today's webinar on federal emergency relief programs and local programs. We are super fortunate today to be joined by Wanda Walker-Smith, who is director at the Hamilton County SBDC. So first and foremost, my name is Erica and I am with Generator and the Brandery, and we are hosting this emergency response program. Hopefully you've had a chance to tune into some of the other webinars that we've had the first half of this week. If not, we are hosting all of our webinars recorded on the Generator website under emergency relief programs, and you'll have a chance to view them there as well. And today's webinar will also be recorded if you'd like to reference it at a later date. So some quick housekeeping items before I go ahead and pass this off to Wanda. You are able to call into today's webinar if you'd like to just listen to the audio. Here is the dial-in information right on the screen, and I'll just give you a second in case you want to take a picture or dial in immediately. As far as Q&A goes for this program, so the format will be that Wanda is going to kick things off and give a presentation and an overview of these programs, and then we'll be sure to leave about 20 minutes or so towards the end of the hour to do some Q&A. So feel free to leverage that Q&A button on your screen, and at any time during the webinar, you can just type in your question and it'll send it over to us. And then at the end of the hour, we'll be sure to go through those Q&A with Wanda. Any questions that we may not get to within the hour, we'll be sure that we do get an answer back to you via email after the webinar ends. Feel free, if you're having any issues with the Q&A function on the webinar, you can also just send your emails with your questions directly to jeff@brandery.org throughout the entire webinar. If you are having any technology issues today, I apologize. There's not much that we can do on our end. I would just recommend trying to tune in again if you're having issues. Otherwise, as I mentioned, we will be recording this webinar and we'll be posting it and sharing it with you all after the fact. So without further ado, I'm so thrilled to welcome Wanda Walker-Smith, again, the director at the Hamilton County SBDC. So Wanda, I'm going to go ahead and stop sharing my screen, and then hopefully you can share from your end.
Okay, let's see here. Are we there?
Yep.
Okay. Well, good afternoon. First and foremost, I want to thank you for extending this invitation to be able to share some very important information with the local business owners within the state of Ohio. I appreciate that. And if this goes national, more the better. Secondly, I can't stress enough the importance of us thinking about each other through this time period with this coronavirus. The stay home, stay safe, stay 6 feet apart. It's crucial that we do that so that we're not spreading it, and hopefully it will just find a way to die out. Now, the way the government has tried to help through this process with the small business owners, I want to share with you first and foremost the Small Business Owners Guide, which you've probably heard the term CARES Act used a number of times. And what that is referencing is the Coronavirus Aid, Relief, and Economic Security Act. And that was passed by Congress And included in that program are several lending programs that are available to the small business owner. And what I want to try and do today is to give you somewhat of a high-level overview. There's been a lot of discussion and a lot of misinformation regarding how these programs work. So hopefully the information that I share with you today will help answer some of those questions. The first one that I want to talk about is the one that you probably heard so much about on the news as of late, and that is the Paycheck Protection Program. This program is available to small business owners that were in business as of February 15th, 2020. Once again, if you were in business as of February 15th, 2020, not that you just started one, but that you were actually in business at that time, this program is available to you. This is a program that you will have to go to your bank to fill out the application. For those of you who have probably listened to the radio or listened to the TV or watched the TV, you probably heard where there's some confusion among the lenders as to what they can do and what they can't do. The information that I will share with you today comes from the actual Congress Act and the SBA. So you can actually go to the SBA's website to verify any of the information that is shared today. I visited their site as of less than an hour before this webinar to see if there were any updates, because the situation is very fluid as to what's covered and what's not covered. So what I will share with you today is information regarding businesses per the SBA guidelines and the CARE Acts that apply as of right now. If there are changes that come out, that will be announced. But as for right now, this is the way it stands. So that the Paycheck Protection Program, with that, as I was saying, it is available to any small business that was in business as of February 15th of 2020.
Hey, Wanda, I'm sorry, I don't mean to interrupt. I just wanted to let you know we can see your video, but we can't see your screen if you are sharing slides. You may not be.
No, I'm not.
Oh, okay. All right. Never mind then. Perfect. Sorry about that.
No, you just get me. But with that program, as I said, it's available to all small businesses that were in business as of February 15th, 2020. It is also available to nonprofits. Those that fall in the category of the 501c3 or the 501c19, which is veteran affiliated programs. They can apply for this as well. Even though the name says Payroll Protection Program, there are a number of business concerns that are covered under this program. If you have mortgage payments, if you have rent payments, utilities, those all fall under this payroll protection plan. Excuse me a moment. Sorry about that. These all fall under that payroll protection plan. Now, if you're wondering, am I a small business or not? Most businesses that have employees less than 500 fall into the small business category. And if you're concerned, if you're familiar with the NAIC codes, check those to see if that qualifies your business as a small business owner. There are also The loans that are available through this program are up to $10 million. Now, it's not every business is going to get the $10 million. It will be based on the information that you supply with your application. And once again, keep in mind that you have to apply through a bank. And the banks that have qualified as 7A lenders, those are the ones that you want to go to. And there are a number of them out there. So it's not like you have to really search and hunt for them. But the majority of your banks, if they've done 7A lending, they are in a position to be able to handle any of these loans that we're going to talk about today. And there are roughly about 6 of them. This is the first in line because this is the one that most people are expressing concern about and they have questions. Does my business qualify for this? How do I apply? Where do I apply? These are the type of things that we're here to try and help you with. I'll give you just a little background on the SBDC. It stands for the Small Business Development Center of Hamilton County. There are a number of the SBDCs throughout the state, throughout the country. There are roughly about 1,000 of us. And we're here all to help those small business owners. So at the end of this webinar, I will give you the email address as well as the phone number where you can call us for direct help with your business. There are no fees. Let me stress again, there are no fees associated with the services that we provide. So please take advantage of the services that we have to offer. Now back to the payroll protection program. I'm going to give you a list of the items that are eligible for this. I gave you a little taste of it to start with, but this is the list from the SBA regarding what is covered under the payroll protection program. Compensation, salaries, wages, commissions are similar compensation. Payment of cash tips are equivalent. Payment for vacation, parental, family, medical, or sick leave. Allowance for dismissal or separation. Payment required for the provisions of group health care benefits, including insurance premiums. Payment of any retirement benefit. Payment of state or local tax assessed on the compensation of employees. As I stated before, do not let the title of this program throw you off with it being payroll protection program. From the list that I just read to you, you can see the other type of items that are covered. Also in there, as I said before, mortgages, leases, rent payment, utilities, all of those. When you fill out that application, once again, you have to do this through the bank. When you fill out that application, you are going to be providing information regarding how each one of those affect your business and how that has been affected regarding the COVID-19 disaster. So what is not covered under the payroll protection program? Employee or owner compensation over $100,000. Remember, these are directly, what I'm sharing with you is directly from the SBA website. Taxes imposed are withheld under Chapter 21, 22, and 24 of the IRS Code. Compensation for employees whose principal place of residence is outside of the U.S. So all of these programs, you have to be within the United States or within the United States territory for the territories for these to apply for your business. Qualified sick and family leave for which a credit is allowed under section 7001 and 7002 or 7003. If you use this program the way it's designed, it is actually, I hesitate to call it this, but it is free money. It will cover these items that I just listed off to you for a period of up to 8 weeks if you follow the guidelines for the payroll protection program. If by chance you do not, so if you're saying I need this program to cover my 10 employees, and you receive the funds, but you end up letting 5 of those employees go, well, part of that money is going to convert to a loan, and you will have to repay that loan. There is a time period that's given. There is some, and I have to put this out here now because there is some confusion between the act that Congress had presented, where it says if this is converted to a loan, the interest rate is 4%. You have 10 years to pay it back. On the SBA website, it's saying that it's a flat 1%. So there's some discrepancy there. I wish I could explain to you why that is, but I think the two of them eventually will mash together. But for right now, the intent is that you use these funds to bring back employees or retain employees, and that those expenses are covered for an 8-week period. And as I explained, if for some reason you can't follow the guidelines for that particular, for the PPP program, then it will convert to a loan. You will have that time period to pay back. But at this time, as I said, there's discrepancy between the printed language between what is in the CARE Acts and what is in the SBA verbiage. So hopefully that will be straightened out soon. And then some business owners want to know, can I get more than one payroll protection program loan? And the answer to that is no, you cannot. But that does not alleviate you from being able to apply for other loans, which I will explain to you shortly. And as I said before, these particular loans, the payroll protection program loan, you have to go to a bank to apply for that. Now moving on to the second loan that you've probably heard a lot about is the EIDL, and that is the Economic Injury Disaster Loan. That you can apply for both of these loans, but you cannot use the proceeds from the loan for the same thing. So if you apply for the payroll protection program loan to cover your payroll, you could not apply for the EIDL loan to cover payroll as well. But you can use that if you had to cover like supplies, inventory, equipment. You can also do that for the rent, the lease, or the mortgage payments, utilities, but you cannot use the same, you cannot use the same, or you cannot use the funds from each one of those loans for the same thing. So make sure when you're applying and filling out the paperwork that you stipulate exactly what it is that you want to be covered. But bear in mind that you can apply for both of these loans. And the EIDL loan is available in all 50 states and DC, as well as the US territories. This is a loan that is available up to $2 million for a company. Once again, the dollar amount that you're actually approved for will depend on the type of information that you're submitting. So they're going to look at the financial situation for your particular business and determine what dollar amount that you could actually get. This also applies to small business. You have to decide, does my company have less than 500 employees? Do I meet that criteria, which is one of the strong ones that they're actually enforcing. This is also available to independent contractors, sole proprietors. So you don't want to exclude yourself from these programs. I strongly urge you to go to the SBA's website, and I will give you that now, which is very simple. It's sba.gov. And then you want to go into funding programs, and it will bring up all of these programs that I'm sharing with you today and how to apply. And some of them actually have the links attached to them if you can apply directly to the SBA. So with this EDL program, there is a forgiving of up to $10,000. Some people and some business owners have kind of skipped over the part where it says up to $10,000. But it is not $10,000 for every business that applies for the loan. So hypothetically, say you apply for $100,000. If you were granted forgiveness for that first $10,000, then your payback would be based on the $90,000. But if you're not given all of the $10,000 and say you were only given $4,000, then your payback becomes $96,000. We are not privy right now as to how they determine the dollar amount that you get regarding that up to $10,000. That is determined, that is going to be based on the actual application that you submit to the SBA. This is one of those apps that goes directly to the SBA. When you submit that, then they will be able to determine the dollar amount that you can get as based on the up to $10,000. As I said, every company is not going to get $10,000 based on your information that you submit. It could be that you get $1,000, you get $5,000, you get $7,000. We cannot tell you at this time what the formula is that they're using for that, but that is through the SBA. Once again, this is available also to nonprofits. So if you're a 501c3 or if you're a 501c19, which is the veterans organizations, you can apply for this as well. So that was the second one. The third one, this is very important, this is very important to any business owners who currently have any of the SBA loan products out there that are 7A. 504s, any of those that are currently out there, this applies to you, but it's going to take some work on your part for this. You can't just say, well, okay, well, they're going to make my payments for the next 6 months. I don't have to do anything. But with the Small Business Debt Relief Program, make sure you understand this is totally separate from the Payroll Protection Program and the EIDL program. This is a third one all by itself. And this is for business owners who have existing SBA loans. I'm going to read directly for you what is said by the SBA as well as what is in the CARES Act that Congress passed. It says this program will provide immediate relief to small businesses with non-disaster SBA loans, in particular 7A, 504, and microloans. Under it, SBA will cover all loan payments on their SBA loans, including principal, interest, and fees for 6 months. This is a big deal. If you think about that small business owner who is out there trying their best to keep their head above water right now, and maybe they're at that point where they had to lay off some of their employees. The request for their product or service is not coming in the way it should be, yet the loans are still saying you have to pay us. Well, if those loans fall into the category that I just shared with you, those are loans that the SBA is saying that they will make those payments, principal and interest, for the next 6 months. Something to keep in mind is that if you have those payments to the SBA set up for auto debit to come out of your checking, your business checking or savings account, it will be up to you to actually stop that notification. The SBA will not. If you don't do anything with it, they're assuming you're participating in the regular program that you were set up for, and you're making your regular monthly payments, which is nothing wrong with that. But if you can get 6 months worth of them paid, I think I'd do whatever I needed to make sure that that could happen. The 7A program are loans that are generally up to about $5 million, and they're used for purchasing like supplies, equipment, short-term needs for the business. Your 504 loans, those are more for fixed costs. So if you're wanting to build an addition to your business, if you're wanting to buy a huge piece of equipment or anything like that, that's where a 504 loan would come into play. There are the microloans, and the microloans are generally handled through the banks, or there are separate entities that handle those as well. One of those I will share with you later on because they actually have a grant program in place. That is one of the 6 lending and funding programs that I'll be talking to you about today. Once again, I want to stress that the SBDC is here for the small business owners. I can't stress it enough. I don't want us to be that hidden secret that nobody knows that, oh, I could have went to. I'm letting you know that you can come to us. I will give you our phone numbers and our email addresses towards the end of this presentation. Feel free to contact us. We promise to get back in touch with you within a 24-hour period. Like most of us, we are working from our homes. So our phone and our emails are set up to come directly to us. And we're being inundated with calls and emails, but don't think that your business is not important to us. As I said, we will get back with you within a 24-hour time period. The fourth lending program that I wanted to talk to you about, which is also another SBA program. It is called the SBA Express Bridge Loans, and it falls under the same criteria of a 7A loan. The only thing is there is no collateral required for these 7A loans. The way you qualify for it, you have to prove that you couldn't get approved without this type of instrument attached to your loans. It has a 7-year payback period. As I said before, no collateral, but there is interest that your banks are allowed to attach to this. The dollar amount that you can borrow is up to $25,000. As I said before, no collateral associated with that. But the interest rate, it can be up to 6.5% plus prime on those particular programs. You have to be a business that was operating as of March 13th, 2020. The loan applications are being taken through March 21st, 2021. So you have a little over a year to put the applications in for those. And once again, that is an SBA program. I just shared with you 4 SBA programs. This last one, you can get, as I said before, you can get up to $25,000. The interest rate may be a little steep on it, but there's no collateral attached to it, and you can get that faster than some of the other ones. Once again, you would go through your bank for that particular program. I shared with you also about the EIDL loan program, which has the $10,000 loan grant attached to it. I also shared with you about the debt forgiveness program, about the payroll protection program. All of these are SBA loan programs that are out there. If you're a small business owner and you're wanting to find ways to keep your head above water in these times, please look into these programs. Once again, there's more detail regarding how to apply for the program or how to apply for the loan at sba.gov. The 5th program that I want to talk to you about is specific to Ohio, and it is offered through the ECDI, which is a Economic and Community Investment Institute. These are available. We have one here in Cincinnati, Ohio. We also have them in Columbus, Ohio. What ECDI is offering in this, let your ears perk up on it, recovery loan program information. The ECDI has a loan program out that you can borrow up to $50,000. This is a signature loan that you're going to have to sign for. Or personally guarantee, but it is specifically here in the state of Ohio. If you have something to write with, I'm going to give you the email address and the phone number that you can call to get more information on this program, because once you actually submit that application, that's really all that you're going to have to do, and they will work with the information you have provided. But if you have questions, it is recovery@ecdi.org, or you can call 614-559-0149. To be eligible to receive a recovery loan, applicants need to meet the following criteria. You have to have a credit score of a 590, which is very low. So they're making exceptions to having to have a strong credit score. You have to have a business checking account that's currently up and running, because the funds that you receive from this will go directly into that business checking account. And then whatever guidelines that the microloan program is requiring, you would have to meet those. And that's that you've been in business for a certain period of time. But you can get up to $50,000 on that particular program. And last but not least, program-wise, I wanted to share with you that there's a program called LISC, and that is LISC. And with that, they have partnered with Verizon to actually be able to offer $10,000 grants. Now, the information that I received, the deadline for their first round has already passed. That was on April 4th, that information had to be in for round 1, but they're going to do a second round. They haven't given the date. So I think that it would be very important for you as a business owner to write down this information, which is another website, and stay in touch so that you get to be first in line for when that opens up for round 2. And once again, this program is a partnership with Verizon and LISC. This is the website that you need to go to. It's eNews, that's ENEWS, at LISC.org. That will give you more information regarding that particular program. Now, I know that some of you may have questions regarding whether any of these programs are available to churches, synagogues, or anything like that. The PPP program is available to those particular churches, or entities rather, religious entities. They have to follow the same guidelines that any other business would have to. So as far as presenting financial information and so forth, it is not the government stepping into your religious household and telling you what to do. It's just that if you're applying for these type of loans, you have to provide certain information that the government can use to actually determine whether they can financially lend something to you or not. Once again, if you go to the SBA's website, there is more information regarding the faith-based lending. I don't want to go into a lot of detail on that, but there's a lot of Q&A regarding that. But in a nutshell, it is available as long as you follow certain criteria. I want to share with you an update regarding the state of Ohio. Governor DeWine yesterday put together a task force to actually make sure that our small businesses are getting funds made available to them. So he's pulled together this task force to try and help organize how those funds are going to be dispersed and how they're going to be made available. And with that, the SBDC is becoming a critical piece of making sure that those funds are disseminated throughout the business community. So I will find out more regarding that process tomorrow. I have a conference call with the state, and we will find out more detail regarding that. So for right now, what I would like to do is share with you contact information for the SBDC so that you can get the assistance that you need. And hopefully, if I have an answer to your questions today, that I'll be able to help you, and my team will be able to help you as well. You can call us at 513-487-1274 or 513-487-1155, or you can email at wwalkersmith@ulgso.org or mhumphrey, that's MHUMPHREY@ulgso.org. And we will get back with you within a 24-hour time period. Once again, your SBDC is here. All of our services are free of charge. No question is too small. And if we don't have the answer, we'll definitely do everything we can to find the answer for you. So I appreciate your time today. And if there are any questions.
Yeah, we can jump right into questions. My first question is, what resources do you recommend specifically for Ohio or Hamilton County? Are there any grants or resources that businesses right here in Cincinnati and Ohio in general can take advantage of, aside from the overall federal programs?
At this time, those are the ones that I would recommend because it's direct funds. Out of the government programs, I think that the best one that you can apply for right now is the payroll protection program. That is eight, I was going to say months. That is 8 weeks worth of coverage for your payroll, your lease, and all. And it's not like hidden fees that are attached to it. These are all backed by the government. So that would be the first one. On the local level, the list program that I shared with you, I would keep up on that. But as I said, the first round, that was over on April the 4th, but they did announce that they will be having a second round. And that is $10,000, no strings attached. So as we find out more about those type of programs, we'll definitely put it out on our website. But at this time, that's the grant that I'm aware of. Then also the ECDI program, which, as I said, is here in the Cincinnati area as well. But that is a loan program up to $50,000.
Awesome, great, thank you. And then just for everyone listening, and if you have a question, just type it into the Q&A chat box, and then I will read it out loud. But the next question is just kind of for clarification. What was the email address you listed, or the website for LISC?
ENEWS at lisc.org.
Perfect. Thank you. Okay, we'll give it another minute and make sure no one else has any questions. Again, if you do, just put them in the Q&A box on your screen. Do you know of any resources or grants or loans specific to Cleveland?
I would have to say I'm not aware of what's available within the Cleveland area. I am more southwest.
Got it. Okay, we just got another question. How long does it take for the bank to process?
I would like to say that it was a quick process, but in all honesty, the banks are learning to adjust. This is something very new to them. So they're having to bring their team together very quickly and not necessarily knowing exactly how things are changing, because this situation, as I said earlier, is very fluid. There are changes that take place with the banks. We know that there are some that are saying they're not equipped to participate, and there's others that have actually opened their doors. I can't call them out specifically because
Sure.
of patriotism, but I would call your bank. If you're a business owner, I would first start with your own bank.
Okay.
Most banks are qualified as 7A lenders. That's kind of like the magic piece to it. If they're a 7A lender, they're qualified to actually do the payroll protection program loans.
Perfect. And then another question, is the EIDL loan the only program available to independent contractors?
Let me check something real quick here, because I'm not certain that the no, the payroll protection program is also available to independent contractors, and that is per the information from the actual CARE Act from Congress. It stipulates that individuals who operate as sole proprietor or as independent contractor are eligible.
Perfect. And then the next question, what is the criteria for solo entrepreneurs who pay themselves? Do they need receipts, taxes, bank statements, etc., to show gross income?
They would have to provide that if they're going through the payroll protection program.
Okay.
That's information they would have to give to the bank.
Great. And then, see, I think we've answered all the questions. If anyone else has any final questions, feel free to type them in the chat box. Okay, I don't see any more questions. Erica, I'll let you close us out.
Thanks, Jess. And thank you so much, Wanda, for joining us today and sharing your insights. I know it's very helpful for this group as we all try and get through this difficult time. So thank you again. I know Wanda shared her contact information and website address. And like I mentioned earlier, this webinar, like our others, will be recorded and posted on the website. I also want to encourage you all to take advantage of individual one-on-one meetings that we're offering to all of you as business owners. we want to be available to help you in any way that we can and provide you with the resources that you need to get through this time. So please do take advantage of those individual one-on-one meetings. You can sign up on our website, or I know that in the emails that Jeff has been sending, they are linked there as well, I believe. So thank you all for joining us again. Wanda, special thanks to you. Be well, everybody, and thank you.
Thank you.